Hello, beautiful friends. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome. If you're new, welcome back. If you're returning, I'm so happy you've chosen this reading today. I've asked your spirit guides to come forward with some messages of love, light, and healing for you. So at the time that you're coming across this reading, these messages are meant to help you along your path, to be beneficial for your life, maybe to provide some insight and guidance for you at this time. So I've divided your readings into 3 groups, so please feel free to choose whichever number or card you feel most drawn to. You can pause the video and meditate on the cards if you find that helpful. And if you feel particularly stuck, sometimes I find it helpful to use a random number generator to arrive at the correct pile. So whatever method you're most comfortable with, please choose your pile. We've got group 1, group 2, and group 3. Timestamps are below, and I will see you in your chosen group. Thank you. Hello, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. This is your message from your spirit guides. So the spirit guides first chose for you the card of the rabbit. So the rabbit is a very sensitive soul. The rabbit has good listening abilities, is a very patient listener. The rabbit is a very supportive being, so somebody who likes to support those around them. If these are qualities that describe you, then this is very likely your reading. If this doesn't describe you at all, you may want to choose another pile, because these are the energies that the spirit guides wanted to bring through today. So the spirit guides immediately told me that you are dealing with anxiety. So you may be feeling anxious about certain things in your life. Maybe you're just feeling generally anxious. That is a high possibility at this time with this rabbit card coming out. So the spirit guides wanted to address that. You may be experiencing subconscious fears at the moment about certain things in your life, or they may even just feel like ambient fears and you're not quite sure where they're coming from. I'm getting the feeling of subconscious fears, with the rabbit being a creature that likes to go underground. So you may be dealing with anxieties that stem from experiences that you may have had early in life that you may not readily be able to access, is what the spirit guides are telling me. So I've asked your spirit guides for kind of a storyline here for what they want to address. And we got the 5 of Wands, the King of Coins, the 5 of Coins, and the 3 of Wands. So as I'm understanding this story, it looks like you may have been in an environment where there was a lot of conflict, where people were not getting along. There may have been a lot of fighting, a lot of arguments, a lot of disagreements. This could have been in childhood, perhaps, or it could even be in a more recent workplace situation, for example, or a recent kind of family dynamic that you may have been exposed to. But they're showing me a lot of disagreements, arguments, people not getting along, that kind of energy. And with you being the sensitive soul that you are, you're very perceptive, you're very affected by the energies around you. This energy has caused you to withdraw to a certain extent in this King of Coins here. And I think it has really halted your progress. You really were overwhelmed perhaps by these disruptive, arguing, disagreeing energies that were flying around. And for a soul with your nature, this wouldn't be something that would be that you would be able to easily cope with. So this has caused you to go into your shell. This has caused you to withdraw. This has caused you to really slow down. You haven't perhaps felt like you've had the resource to progress in life that you might otherwise have had if you were in a more conducive environment. So this may resonate with you, this feeling of having had to withdraw. With the 5 of Coins here, I see that, as things have progressed, You really have had to pull away. Maybe you live alone, or you have to spend a lot of time alone in order just to nurture your own energy. You're very sensitive to people's words and actions and energies, and so you really just prefer to perhaps be in your own energy as much as possible. This little figure on this card is kind of keeping a light alive, so I get the sense that you may be in difficult circumstances, but you're doing your best to kind of keep your flame alight, to keep your light going. You do try to look on the bright side, even when things, I think, are very difficult. And it looks as though things may well have become very difficult here with this Five of Coins coming out. Spirit is telling me that they're sending you assistance with getting out of this situation. And you may be at a point right now when you're coming across this reading where you're very much wanting another solution. I think things have come to the point for you where you're really feeling like enough of this already. I don't want to be held back any longer. I don't want to be shut out of things. I don't want to be shut out of certain experiences and connections. And I'm really, I'm looking to broaden out into the world and experience more and to find fulfillment. This experience that you have been through has really tested you. And I think you're at that point where you're reaching for new solutions, you're reaching for new opportunities, you're reaching for new insights to finally, break out of this pattern so that you don't have to be so constantly withdrawn. You may feel like you have to withdraw just to survive. And I think you're at a point where you feel like you're just not having it anymore. Why should you have to be withdrawn in order to thrive? So Spirit is telling me by you going through this process, you are going to reach a point where you're going to be able to help others in the future. So while this may feel like a very challenging path and perhaps a very challenging transition point that you're experiencing now, if you find your way through these difficulties, find a way to handle these anxieties, to address some of these fears that might be kind of showing up again and again. As you deal with this pattern, you will be able to free yourself and find better opportunities out in the world, to find connection again in the world. And also, your spirit guides are telling me that you're going to be helping others in the future to do the same thing. Your spirit guides want you to know that you are not alone in these experiences, particularly if these are mental experiences that you're having, that there are many beings on the planet that have these experiences, and they feel that you have the strength with this light, that you are keeping a flame here. You have kept your light pure. You have kept it going in the face of difficulties. You have passed many tests, and you do have the ability to bring aid and assistance to others in the future. But I think for right now, they really want you to focus on yourself and what you need and how you can get what you need in the world. And they want you to be able to live free of perhaps this sense of anxiety, I think, that may have become a pattern for you in your world. I did also pull some additional tea leaf cards just for additional messages from your spirit guides about some of these things that we're talking about here. And one of the cards that came out here is the Well. And this says, family wishes coming true. So what I'm hearing for some of you hearing this reading is that this Five of Wands may very well have occurred in a family setting. So you may have experienced arguments, disruption, disagreement within the context of a family. And I think you are a very peaceful being. Rabbits, love their families. They often have large families. I think you have maintained a desire for a healthy family and a connected family. And your spirit guides are coming through to just give you some hope that they know that you have a wish for this sort of peaceful and well-connected, warm family environment. And your family wishes are going to come true in this lifetime. So your spirit guides want to assure you of that, because that may not have been the case to this point. The next card that came out for you is the dog, and it says protection from a powerful friend. And with this King of Coins card here too, I'm also seeing a sense of protection with that tortoise. You really did withdraw to protect yourself from the energies that were happening around you. And I think, that move made sense at the time. But I think protection is also going to be available to you from the external world. You may have friends that can help you out. I'm hearing friends in high places. I'm even getting like the image of a dog. Maybe you're a dog owner or you want to become a dog owner. Maybe you have a dog in your life that can help protect you and make you feel a little safer in the physical world. If you're feeling in need of protection in your home, a dog can be very helpful in that respect. So there is sort of protection from beings in the outer world, I think, that your spirit guides are saying are available and at hand to help you. So please call on those, or if you are feeling called to get a dog, I think a dog can help you to regain a sense of safety. You also receive the feather card, and this card says someone you know is undependable and insincere. So again, I think this may be pointing us back to the Five of Wands. I think perhaps, this undependable, insincere person may have been sort of at the crux of all of this disagreement, an argument going on here in this scenario. So the spirit guides, I think, are coming forward with this message to let you know that, this situation and the trials that you have been through are not your fault, that there was, some core misbehavior that began this cycle, and they don't want you to continue to experience any kind of detriment in life because of being at perhaps the mercy of this undependable, insincere person. So Spirit is coming forth to let you know this was not your fault, and they want you to experience a more peaceful life, a life where you can feel more secure and free of anxiety. And then finally, the last tea leaf that came out for you is the ladder, and this says climbing towards success. And I love it when this happens in readings. This Three of Wands is also depicting somebody climbing up a ladder, and you've got the climbing towards success. So I think there will be opportunities for you to break this cycle of anxiety and worry that you may have been experiencing. Um, your spirit guides are really guiding you through this process. They're trying to bring in resources to help you with this. Things like people, things like articles, information, books, any kind of resource that you feel drawn to that can help you break the cycle of worry, help you deal with thoughts of anxiety, help you perhaps identify where some of these subconscious fears may have originated, or even the nature of the subconscious fears. All of these things are going to help you break this pattern and achieve a more peaceful state of mind, and enjoy the family life and the connections that you so deserve. And then finally, your spirit guides directed me to a oracle card from the Work Your Light Oracle deck. And the card that they wanted to show you is Answer the Call. It says, what is your soul calling you to do? So in this deck, I'm seeing a woman who looks like she's by a lake. To me, she may almost be meditating. So if you've been called to meditate, or if you are a regular meditator, they're saying this could be potentially a very useful practice for you to help ease some of these worries and anxieties that you may occasionally feel consumed by. They're also asking you to really look at the kind of life that you want to have for yourself. Don't be afraid to dream. Don't be afraid to expand your horizons. Feel free to explore options in terms of work and love and life. They really want you to pay attention to what your inner desires are and to sort of climb your way towards achieving those desires. It's going to be a rung by rung process, they're telling me. So you'll go step by step by step, but things will gradually get better for you. They're telling me the better it gets, the better it gets. So I think you do have the ability to improve your state of mind, improve your circumstances by taking these steps, and really, look inward and hear what your soul is calling for, and then take steps towards arriving at those soul callings. I'm also hearing that time in nature may be beneficial for you. It may help to kind of calm the rabbit mind, as it were. So if you can spend time near water, if you can spend time near mountains, this will help to ground you so that your mind can start to feel more peaceful. It's just one opportunity. There are other ways to do it. I'm also seeing crystals in this card, so there may be healing crystals that you feel drawn to that can help ground you and that can help calm the rabbit mind. All of these things will be very useful tools for you. So your spirit guides wish to extend their compassion towards you. They know that the process that you have been through in this lifetime has not been easy, and they know that you are a very sensitive soul and you're a very kind soul, and they applaud you for keeping your light aflame, for keeping your purity and your kindness and your own compassion alive throughout all of the trials that you have been through. And they wish to send you their love, and they wish to point out that you are firmly on this ladder and things will only improve from here. So thank you very much for tuning in today to this message from your spirit guides. I thank you so much for watching this video today, and I thank you for your likes and your subscribes. And if you'd like to comment down below and let us know what you thought of this reading, I would be grateful. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. These are your messages from your spirit guides. So the card that you were drawn to is the Octopus card. And the octopus speaks of a personality that's very intelligent. It likes to be involved in things. But it's also a card that really speaks of boundaries, and it can talk about the lack of healthy boundaries, the need for healthy boundaries. Your spirit guides are telling me that today's message, they want to talk to you about boundaries. So this may be something that has been on your mind recently, but that is certainly the theme of today's reading. So I draw 4 tarot cards here for you to kind of get a storyline for your situation and the message that your spirit guides want to discuss. And with this King of Swords kind of heading off the storyline, they're telling me that you were involved in a very harsh situation or involved with a person that was very harsh. This may have been a person that was unable to meet your needs or refused to meet your needs. And this kind of forced you out of the relationship with this person, for lack of a better term, or kind of pushed you out into something because of this harsh situation that you encountered in life. This may have been in childhood, or it could have been a later situation, but there was something very harsh, and because of this harshness, you were kind of pushed out. Perhaps you had to fend for yourself or make new connections. And with this Page of Coins here, I see a figure that's, attempting to befriend a couple of wild animals. So you may have been a very trusting soul. Maybe you, you spread your gentleness out into the world, and maybe you just didn't have the experience to be able to discern personalities or people that would actually work in your best interests. So I'm hearing you may have made friends with a few wild animals along the way here with this Page of Coins. I know it sounds kind of funny. I'm sure it may not have been a funny situation, but so, and then as the storyline progresses, there may have been a point at which these connections maybe turned on you or maybe showed their true colors. And I see a figure fleeing here in this Three of Wands. I see someone needing to get out of a situation. These friends that show up in the Page of Coins card are nowhere to be found here in this Three of Wands. So there may have been a situation where you thought you had friends and allies around you, or a friend or an ally, and ultimately, something changed, and their true natures were shown, or their true incompatibility was discovered, and you needed to flee that situation, or at least get out of it at the very least here with this Three of Wands. So, I'm seeing that perhaps you had a beginning where, because you weren't really able to establish connections in a secure kind of way, you may have been left to just kind of fend for yourself, and you didn't really have a grounding in discernment, knowing what a good connection was, knowing what to look for. You just simply didn't have this field of awareness available to you based on earlier circumstances. And as this has kind of played out, because you weren't privy to this knowledge, you've been forced to flee, I think, connections that were not good for you, connections that did not know how to act in your best interests, connections that did not act in your best interests. And essentially you had to leave basically to save yourself, to get into a better situation. And then with the star here, your spirit guides are really inviting a time of healing right now. I think you have been through a difficult connection of some kind, a difficult experience of some kind. You have seen something from a person or people that you didn't expect to see, and you really would like to have a life where you can kind of create, just something much more fruitful for yourself, and work more smoothly and harmoniously with others, enjoy more harmonious relationships. I think you're somebody that likes to be very involved with the people around you, and I think you may have experienced feeling shut out of certain relationship dynamics, certain organizations, and you've been made to kind of flee for your own good here. So the star is really inviting you to really do a lot of self-care at this time here. I see with this figure, she's kind of holding this lamb to her chest and petting the lamb. Maybe taking care of your inner child is going to be very important right now. This may well have been the result of a childhood pattern that started very early in life. So the more that you can get in touch with your inner child here, I think is important. The more that you can understand the nature of where this difficulty with boundary setting may have originated, I think the better off you will be. I think it is going to be possible for you to learn healthy boundaries, but just by accepting that you didn't receive this knowledge early in life, you're going to be able to make more progress with it. I see this Three of Wands figure, climbing up a ladder. So I think step by step, you're going to be able to be more discerning with people so that you don't have these experiences where people turn on you, or you suddenly discover that they're incompatible with you, or they can't act in your best interests, or won't act in your best interests. I think you're going to see more of that in people so that you can avoid difficult experiences with them. The star here is also, kind of suggesting a development of spirituality here. You may be kind of looking to the heavens for answers about, maybe this has left you with some very painful feelings, painful emotions, and you're just kind of wondering how to resolve some of these deeply difficult emotions that you're experiencing. I asked your spirit guides for a message about how you can help to heal this situation particularly around boundaries. And the card that came up is Star Mother, and it says, how can you mother yourself? And I think this is this card to me looks like a very, we've got two stars here. I feel like their hands are both on their hearts. It's really a lot about self-care. Putting your needs first, I think, is going to be very important at this time. Just really understanding your own best interests deeply, on a very deep level, is going to help you heal this issue that you have with personal boundaries. The star is also, I think, suggesting a spiritual element. So if there are, if you have religious practices or spiritual practices that you use to meditate perhaps, or kind of deeply go into your own energy to help you understand your own wants and needs. I think the octopus can often reach out quite instinctively for things. It's very outward motivated. It likes to reach out for what it needs. And I think the Star Mother and the Star card are asking you to reach inward for what you need at this time. And by doing this, you'll be able to establish better relationships in the future that will fulfill you more fully, so that you don't end up in these situations where, the wild beasts kind of turn on you, or that you didn't recognize, the nature that sort of lurked under their smiles, I guess is a way to say it. So I also asked your spirit guides for some additional messages to help you with this issue. And the cards that came out, the first one was Dark Woman. It says dealings or relationship with a woman with dark complexion or hair. So a dark woman may mean something to you. It'll be different for everyone watching, but this may be, perhaps this King of Swords figure was a dark woman. Or maybe in this kind of story that I've relayed here, that brings to mind a dark woman for you. The next card that came is Goldfish, and it says increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. So I think by this experience, you will really be able to develop in a spiritual sense. You will really understand your own self more deeply, your own soul more deeply. You'll be able to be more discerning of others. But this points to a path where you have to learn this discernment, perhaps in a way that is quite difficult here with this harsh situation kind of kicking everything off. And then it does also talk about material wealth. So, perhaps by going through this process, you will be able to gain something that's like so valuable that you can share it with others, that may even support you in the material realm, the way that you're able to share your journey of, becoming more discerning in your relationships with other people. You may be able to parlay that into an income, perhaps. And then we have the quill here. It says, get back to the basics. And also with the quill, I think of writing. So maybe you're a writer, and perhaps you can use this journey to write about it, share it with others in that way. That's a possibility. With this get back to basics here and the Star Mother card and even the Star card, I really am feeling a sense of an inner child issue here going on for you related to boundaries. So you may want to do some inner child work to help you with this. I think healing from something like this does take time. Again, it's a step-by-step process here with this Three of Wands. But if you can get back to the basics of the situation, always keeping your own best interests front and center at all times with people, really watching for red flags for whenever other people do not honor your best interests, and also getting back to your inner child, getting to know your inner child more deeply, understanding maybe the wounds that have occurred for the inner child regarding boundaries and relationships, I think can be part of this healing process. And then finally, your spirit guides wanted to bring forth the broom. It says new home, new attitude. And I am noticing this Three of Wands. It really does feel like a card of fleeing or moving, getting out of a situation here in this Three of Wands. So I'm not sure where your life is at the time that you're coming across this reading, but I think a change of place will be very uplifting for your spirit. A change of home could be very uplifting for your spirit at this time. A new attitude could be very uplifting for you as well, in terms of, looking at your relationships perhaps as more of a learning experience. Can help you sort of adjust your lens in terms of the boundaries that you have as you develop relationships with other people. Even a new attitude towards your inner child, and a new attitude about caring for yourself, understanding yourself, and getting in tune with your own best interests. Just taking on a new attitude in that regard, I think could really help you along in your healing journey. All right, pile 2. That is the message that I have from your spirit guides today. I hope you enjoyed this message. If this resonated for you, please comment down below and let me know. I would love to hear about it. I wish you all the very best for the future, and I look forward to seeing you in a future reading. Thank you. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. This is your message from your spirit guides. So the card that you chose and the card that your spirit guide selected for you was the mouse card. So the mouse card tells me about an energy that is very resourceful, is very productive, likes to keep busy, is very prepared. There's a lot of resourcefulness with the mouse. So if these qualities describe you, then this is likely your reading. And today I have asked your spirit guides to give me a little bit of a storyline here so that we can better identify their message. So for that, we got the Four of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Chariot, and the Page of Swords. So looking at the mouse energy along with this collection of tarot cards, I'm seeing that you may have perhaps earlier experienced some disappointments. With this Four of Cups card, I'm seeing the example that I'm hearing is that, you may have followed a career path that looked very promising to you at one point, but you ultimately perhaps were disappointed with that career once you got into it and started working in that field that may not have actually satisfied. I'm also seeing, things such as love opportunities. Perhaps you had a very promising love relationship or the potential for a love relationship that ultimately ended up being a disappointment. And what your spirit guides are telling me is that because of these disappointments that you've experienced, or some of these experiences that have just left you feeling like kind of blah, I guess, meh, that you have become very adept at cutting things out of your life. You are very able to identify when a situation is not working for you, when a relationship with a person is not working for you, when perhaps a place that you're living, when that's not working for you. You've become very good at seeing when opportunities perhaps have the potential to disappoint you. So you're very good at sort of editing, deleting, canceling things out of your life so that you don't go through, these painful disappointments that you may have experienced at some point in your life. But this is exactly what your spirit guides wish to speak to you about today, because they believe that you have reached a point now where you may have overcorrected for this. You may be, so able to identify where things may go wrong that you're cutting things out perhaps too soon. Perhaps you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, they're telling me. Just getting rid of things where you see downsides, and not giving things perhaps a chance to flourish and develop so that you can have new experiences enter into your life. So what they want to talk about is they're talking about a controllingness. I think perhaps because of these disappointments in your past, you have felt the need to become very controlling about your environment and your relationships and your work life. But you're at the point now where this is actually halting your progress. This is actually halting your ability to move forward and to develop new positive enterprises for yourself, to come into new opportunities. So they really want to help you at this time with healing this particular wound that you have around disappointments and the coping strategy that you may have developed around sort of cutting out things wherever you see sort of flaws or potential problems or potential difficulties. And this is quite natural to do. Obviously, when painful things happen, we can go through kind of a pendulum swing. But your spirit guides are wanting to bring the pendulum back a little bit more in the allowing direction here. With the Chariot card, I am seeing the need for mental balance. These experiences that you've had may have created a bit of anxiety within you. The mouse can be a very nervous creature. And obviously, if we're looking at life through what can potential problems be, what are the flaws, what's not working about this, it can create a mindset that just is a bit unbalanced. So the spirit guides are telling me they'd like you to perhaps bring into your life some more enthusiasm, some more lightheartedness. They say it's fine to be discerning. Discerning is very important. But here, when we go from the Queen of Swords to the Page of Swords, they're wanting you to ease back on this tendency to be overly discerning and sort of immediately cut things out of your experience. They want to allow a little more fluidity and flexibility. I'm seeing some water in these cards here. So letting life flow, I think, for you a little bit more smoothly here. I did also ask your spirit guide for some healing cards. So we chose, I just asked for one card, but they brought through two. So both of these cards are going to be important for you. And these are from the Work Your Light Oracle deck. And the cards that came out are the Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, and Teacher. And then the second card is Warrior Woman, Have You Answered Your Deepest Calling? And first of all, I want to point out the number of figures holding swords here. This warrior woman has a sword. You've got the Queen of Swords and the Page of Swords. So the attention really is on, your sense of power, your sense of discernment, your sense of making decisions. The swords also can kind of talk about your mental life, your intellectual life, maybe often working from a place of rationality, of intellect, perhaps. So that's very highlighted in this reading for you. But what these two cards are telling me as they come together here is that your spirit guides really would like you to answer your soul's calling. I know that sounds a little obvious, but I think they see you as somebody who enjoys beauty. You may enjoy time in nature. You may enjoy flowers. I'm hearing flowers specifically. And they want new experiences to be able to come into your life, fresh experiences. They want you to be able to experience a meaningful project. With this mouse card here, this can often indicate, working on things but not getting anywhere, the sense of spinning your wheels, not really making progress, even though, you're constantly busy. And the spirit guides here are showing me that there is potential for you to have a deeply fulfilling project or a deeply fulfilling relationship, a deeply fulfilling path in life that you may not be seeing at the present time, or that may not be flowing to you because of this tendency that you may have developed to sort of cut too many things out of your life or say no to too many opportunities. So you may be somebody who wants to work in the beauty industry or has a calling to work in the beauty industry. I'm hearing interior design. I'm hearing like a floral shop or floristry of some kind, gardening, those kinds of things. You may want to pursue a calling related to nature, something to do with travel, perhaps, or being in nature, regenerating nature, encouraging people to experience nature, all of these kinds of things. So many wonderful possibilities here for this group. It'll apply to different people differently. But your spirit guides are asking you to really take another look at this calling, because it does contain potential for you. But they do ask that you develop a more lighthearted approach with the way that you make decisions and view opportunities. You really do have the green light here to move forward in a new way with the Chariot coming out in your reading. But they simply want you to be aware of this pattern that may have developed because of things, I think, that have not worked out for you in the past. I also asked your spirit guides for additional tea leaves so that they can bring forth some extra messages for you in this reading. And the first card that came out for you is Mountain Road, and it says you are on the road to success. And I was just noticing here how this mountain road looks a lot like this image in the Page of Swords, although I think this one is a waterfall. But similarly, it is possible for you to be successful. I think perhaps these disappointments that you have experienced, there may be some nervousness, some anxiety about not achieving success, and your spirit guides are coming through to say, no, this is not the case. Success is indeed possible for you, especially if you can find a little more mental balance with how you view flow and opportunity and situations, and be a little bit more forgiving. I think you may identify as somebody who's a bit of a perfectionist, but this could be getting in your way at this time that you're coming across this reading. The next card that came out for you from your spirit guides is the hammock card. It says taking a vacation physically or mentally. So if you have been thinking about taking a vacation, this might help to reinvigorate your soul's calling, or an opportunity could arise for you while you are traveling, or inspiration. You could receive some inspiration. And this does, of course, also speak to a mental vacation as well. And with this mouse energy tending towards nervousness and anxiety, if you can develop ways, perhaps getting out in nature to experience more relaxation in your world, this can help ease this situation as well. And then your spirit guides also brought forth the carrot card, and the carrot says opportunity or windfall. So your spirit guides are bringing in new opportunities for you. They are bringing in resources for you. So they want you to be on the lookout for those. I think you're coming across this reading because they don't want you to immediately say no to this opportunity, and to be aware of these resources that may be coming your way. Because if you do have a tendency to just sort of reflexively say no to things, you could miss out. So please be aware of this opportunity that's coming to you in the near future, or this potential windfall, so that you can have the resources to develop in a positive way here, in this way that's calling to your soul. And then finally, the card that came out for you is crib. It says birth or conception of a child or enterprise. And while the birth of a child may apply to a few of you, certainly, and that could be part of your soul calling as well. A lot of these cards do actually point to the birth of an enterprise, so the birth of a business, the birth of some kind of service or business or offering that you have for the world that does grow in a very lovely way. So something new beginning for you here with this crib card. All right, my pile 3. So that is the message from your spirit guides today. I hoped you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful to you and your life. Please comment down below and let me know if this resonated for you. If you could put a like on this video, I would be grateful. That helps the video to reach more people. And if you'd like to subscribe, that will help you be notified the next time I post a video. I thank you so much for joining me here today. I wish you all the very best for a beautiful future, and I will see you next time.